Let's go to the drama series that is US politics. No great surprises in Iowa. We thought Donald Trump would win. He spent the rest of the week in court.
Yes, and that was only a civil defamation case, Tim. He's still got the 4 criminal trials with a combined 93 charges. Now, will he get through 93 charges? Can anybody beat 93 criminal charges? Well, he might, because they're juries, and people on juries, you only need one to find in his favour. So that's the risk on the horizon, and that's why Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley, if she can, and I doubt if she can, will stay in the race in case Donald Trump is barred because of a criminal conviction. Otherwise, Donald Trump will be the Republican nominee. There's nothing more certain.
And an article this morning saying that Donald Trump could be Joe Biden's best chance.
Yes, see, this is the dilemma. Biden cannot win against any Republican candidate, such as Nikki Haley or Ron DeSantis, but he can win against Donald Trump. And in fact, there's a widespread belief that Biden believes he's the only one who can beat Trump, and that's why he's running again. And make of that what you will.
It's an extraordinary story to watch from the sidelines, but Nikki Haley does need to win New Hampshire. She really does. I mean, she's close, but doesn't win there and out of the running unless, as you say, something happens in a courtroom which is going to just sort of vault someone up into that position. Now, back to Australian politics. Penny Wong's trip, what did you make of it?
She diminished the potential for her trip, which was pretty limited, Tim. It's a war zone, and Australia is not a player in the Middle East by refusing to go to the site of the initial invasion, massacre of 1,200 Israelis in the most barbarous of circumstances. The Israelis weren't going to take her very seriously after that, to the extent she did have any influence. Because unless you first condemn Hamas, and Penny Wong does in diplomatic language, but it's a little guarded, as diplomats tend to be, she had to show the raw emotion, the unqualified condemnation of Hamas. And it meant that she didn't have either the access or the influence that the government rightly wanted to have on Israel. Then she grants $21.5 million to the Hamas, not to the Hamas, to the refugee relief, and then she condemns the Israeli settlers on the West Bank, disputed areas. So
in a report card, you're not giving an A+?
No, it was a failure, I'm afraid. But look, the chances of it moving the dial in any way or being a success were pretty remote anyway.
Okay, finally, just on China, quite a bit going on with that in staying in that area of foreign policy. China relies so much on Australia. If you break it all down, iron ore is the word.
Absolutely,
the two words.
And coal. And hence, they've finally, after 4 years, lifted in a series of stages those punishing and indeed crippling, in the case of wine, tariffs and trade barriers. They've only come back to the table for one reason, and that is economic self-interest. Because the Chinese economy, Tim, it's not tanking, but it's slowing, and it's not what it once was. They have their own financial property over investment and employment concerns. So China's not quite as dominant economically as it once was, but it is still a regional and world threat.
Interesting to watch that one with interest. Peter, always good to chat.
Thanks, Tim.
Do it again next week.
Cheers.